रोशनी का कारवां।
This podcast is brought to you by Score Foundation.
ये है रोशनी, रोशनी, रोशनी का कारवां, रोशनी। Eyeway, ये है रोशनी का कारवां।
Hi, my name is George Abraham and welcome to Eyeway Conversations. My guest today is Chetan Sharma from Jaipur, Rajasthan. He is a cancer survivor, a retired banker, and a social entrepreneur. Welcome, Chetan. Welcome.
Thank you very much, Mr. George.
So, Chetan, you are a cancer survivor. Tell us about it.
When I was around 4 or 5 years old, my parents noticed that I could not see properly.
Right.
So the doctor advised us to contact an ophthalmologist in Sitapur. At that time, Sitapur had a very, very large eye hospital, and Padma Shri Dr. Jagdish Pahwa was there. When we contacted Dr. Pahwa, he was able to figure it out that I am not able to see properly, but he was not sure that what kind of illness I am having. Coincidentally, one ophthalmologist from Switzerland visited Dr. Pahwa the same day.
Yes.
And they discussed it, and that ophthalmologist from Switzerland, he advised us the child is having cancer, and if you do not remove eyeballs, the cancer will spread to brain, and there will be no point of return at that time.
Yeah.
So it was in a way the devastating experience for entire family, for me also, because I have few memories of seeing. But all of a sudden, the things went dark or without light. It was a very difficult experience to go through.
So you lost your eyes, but you saved your life, in a manner of speaking.
Yeah, perfectly so.
So how did life evolve from there? Because you were only about 4 or 5 at that point of time.
At that time, there was a famous school, special school for the blind students in Ajmer. That school is still there, and they are doing a very good job in imparting education to students with visual impairment. In that school, out of 8 students, 6 cleared the secondary examination with first class.
Right.
And this news got published in the newspaper, and through this news item, my parents came to know that there is such a school is there, and our child can study there. And this news item was the first ray of hope for my parents, because before that they didn't know. And here I would like to highlight the social responsibility and social role of the media. Had that newspaper not carried this news item, I don't know how much, at what precise time I would have started, or I would have been able to start my education.
If you know of anyone with vision impairment who needs guidance on living life with blindness, please share the Eyeway National Toll-Free Helpline number 1800-5320-469. The number is 1800-5320-469.
So what all did you actually study there? What was your experience like over there?
Initially, as all students feel some sort of, they miss their home, and I also missed, but quickly I intermingled with the students and began my education. And when I appeared for the secondary examination, it was in 1985. Secondary, I not only passed the examination with first division.
Yeah.
Rather, I was placed on 90th position in entire state of Rajasthan.
Right. And when you say secondary education, that is what, 8th standard or 10th standard?
10th standards.
10th. And then and after that, you continued in the same school for your 11th and 12th, or you joined a college?
At that time in Rajasthan, the education system was, the education system which was followed was 10 plus 1 plus 3. So I completed my 11th from government school for the blind Ajmer. And thereafter, I got admission in government college Ajmer, and there too, while I was studying with my sighted counterparts, I developed interest in debate, general knowledge, current affairs, competitions, quizzes, and other activities. And in college also, I was fortunate enough to got first position in current affairs competition. What
actually prompted you to get interested in current affairs and all that? Meaning, how were you introduced to all these topics? Because in many blind schools, the focus is on academics, and current affairs and general knowledge and so on is not that much of a priority. So how were you kind of exposed to all that?
In fact, I was fortunate enough to have some legendary teachers of Rajasthan state in our school.
Right.
And they always encouraged students to participate in all extracurricular activities, and not to limit the focus or study to textbooks only. And they also encouraged us to compete with sighted students. What they motivated us for was that you should not only compete with blind students and remain satisfied by winning or by getting few prizes. What you should do, you should compete with sighted students, sighted counterparts, and try to shine there.
And then how did you actually decide to join a bank?
The prospect of getting job in a bank fascinated me. And All India Confederation of the Blind was imparting training in Hindi stenography at that time. Right. I think that training is still going on.
Yeah.
So I joined their training course in Delhi.
Yeah.
And subsequently, I was appointed in erstwhile Oriental Bank of Commerce.
What was the process of getting a job in a bank those days?
As an organization, All India Confederation of the Blind had a placement officer.
Yeah.
Who used to keep an eye on employment opportunities.
Yeah.
And the selection process was, for example, I was selected for the stenotypist. So there was a skill test. In that test, because it was for a post which was dedicated or reserved for the blind candidates.
Yeah.
So the skill test will be taken, and the best performers out of that skill test will be selected according to available vacancies.
Is that the case even today, or today we have to write a competitive exam?
No. Today it is the process is entirely different. First, the IBPS conducts written examination. There are certain phases of these examinations, and thereafter the recruitment is made. But today, this reservation has the legal backing, which was not at that time. There was executive orders and so on, but the legislative backing was not there.
Right.
Reservations.
Right. Now, you grew from being a stenotypist, Hindi stenotypist to start with, to becoming a senior manager, chief manager. So, so what were the different roles you played in the bank, and what was your upward movement like? How did you actually get your promotions, and how did it all work?
Then first time I applied for the promotion test,
Yeah.
my application was rejected
Right.
because what they said in officer cadre there is no work that you can do. What they said was, and after some struggle, next time I was allowed to take the exam, and the, after this exam there was an interview, and in 2002 I was promoted to scale 1 officer in Oriental Bank of Commerce. And as far as my various responsibilities concerned, mm, starting from uh, at that time it was called SSI department, Small Scale Industries department. Nowadays we call it MSME department,
Yeah.
Micro, Small and Medium Enterprises department.
Yeah.
I worked in that department. I worked in HR, and in the later half of my life,
Yeah.
my professional life, I worked in our staff training college also.
I would be interested in knowing, Chetan, when you became chief manager, uh, what was your portfolio then?
When I became chief manager, my main assignments, I was posted in staff training college,
Yeah.
or what they call Human Resource Institute in our bank.
Yeah.
So I was posted in Human Resource Development Institute, Noida.
Yeah.
And there, apart from taking classes uh, of trainees that were, or in all trainees were staff members only.
Yeah.
My job was also to ensure the quality of training, the updation of training program on time, and so on.
So you were kind of heading this department, or you had somebody who was working, whom you were reporting to in the training institute?
No, no, no. I was not heading. Our principal of our Human Resource Development Institute, they were of Deputy General Manager rank. So in
Yeah.
fact, two scales above me.
Right.
To support our work with the blind and visually impaired, you can visit the donate page on our website www.scorefoundation.org.in. Please note www.scorefoundation.org.in.
So at some point of time, you decided to leave the bank and start your own venture. Tell me about that.
What was time and again, what I was thinking continuously, if we have been created as human beings, there must be a larger purpose of our existence,
Right.
beyond getting job and earning and leaving for property for your kids and next generation. Beyond that, there must be a purpose for our existence. And to search and accomplish that purpose, what I thought, I was already 50 when I decided to voluntarily retire. I had 10 years ahead for, for my regular retirement.
Yeah.
But what I thought was, if I have to make some difference, it is necessary for me to start now. Otherwise, it will be too late. And after 60 and working 9 to 10 hours a day daily, my health will not allow me to work in a energetically. So I decided to voluntarily retire from the bank and set up UDBHAV Vision Foundation. And this foundation is a not-for-profit.
Yeah.
And we, along with my team members, are trying to make a difference, which and trying to be involved in some activities which are already which is generally not undertaken by other not-for-profits for the persons of visual impairment.
What are the projects that you take up at UDBHAV?
One project that we decided to take up, there are many, but I will start with one project. It was Sunidhi.
Right.
And Sunidhi was a project to develop and promote financial awareness and financial literacy among the persons with visual impairment.
Right.
And we are continuously working on this under this Sunidhi project. And just on 3rd of December,
Yeah.
The International Day of Persons with Disability,
Yeah.
we under this project we conducted a webinar with RBI.
Yeah.
And the senior officials of RBI addressed visually impaired participants regarding various facilities, the various opportunities which are available to which are equally available to persons with visual impairment.
Yeah.
The other project, one is Aparajita for
Yeah.
blind girls. And the other project is what you call Sambal. This project was for the family members of persons with visual impairment whose income was adversely impacted due to this coronavirus.
Yeah.
We had another project entitled Prasiksha.
Right.
That is a project to provide training, computer and mobile training to persons with visual impairment.
Yeah.
And like that, we have tried to make a difference among the lives of persons with visual impairment. And we have also another project called Sparsh,
Yeah.
to produce braille books.
Right.
And you will be happy to note that without getting any assistance from under any CSR initiative or government, because we have not completed 3 years yet, so we don't get any assistance, financial assistance from government or any company. But we are able to install a braille printer, and we are able to provide braille books to blind students also. And if I talk about another project, that is Dhwani. Another project is, and Dhwani is for preparing audio books for persons with visual impairment. So these are few projects that we are undertaking right now.
These are all very interesting projects, meaning, as you rightly said, you are not really looking at the traditional programs which most NGOs do with blind people. You've actually identified key areas, strategic areas where blind people need training and insights and inputs, and you've identified those and you've taken up initiatives there. That's wonderful. So going forward, Chetan, I would also like to know a little bit about your family, meaning your parents you talked about, who gave you the perfect start in life by putting you in a school and putting you on the path of learning and evolving. Do you have siblings, and how did they kind of engage with you? And are you married, and what's your family like today?
Yeah, I am married, and my wife is also from your city, that is Delhi, and
Yeah.
she can see. She can see.
Yeah.
I have one daughter,
Yeah.
Shruti. She has done her masters in psychology from Montfort College, Bangalore.
Yeah.
And my son Aditya, he is in 7th semester, undergoing an engineering degree from MS Ramaiah Institute of Technology.
Yeah.
And apart from it is also in Bangalore. And apart from them, I got full support from my family members and siblings and so on. Everybody supported me in the best possible way, and due to their support only, I could somewhat move ahead in my life.
So, apart from your work, meaning you've spent several years professionally in a bank, and now you are working with UDBHAV among visually impaired people. But as Chetan Sharma, what are your personal passions and interests?
First of all, I get where the great sense of satisfaction when I defeat, or what I should say, I perform better than my sighted counterparts. This is my one of my passions. See, uh, among visually impaired persons, right? It is very good that somebody can perform better than others. It is very good, and one should appreciate that. But when you mix up with society, you interact with society, and you are able to uh, perform better than your sighted counterparts, the impact is amazing, amazing, really.
Right.
And if you permit, I can share one incident.
Yeah.
When I was in bank,
Yeah.
one of my close friends,
Yeah.
he registered for the reality show Kaun Banega Karodpati, hosted
Yeah.
by none other than great Amitabh Bachchan sir.
Yeah.
Then, and when you are on hot seat, they ask you to give three name and phone numbers before going on hot seat. In case of uh, exercising your lifeline option, you can ask the show people to call one of them. Out of these three persons, you can choose anyone, and they will call the person, and the person will assist him in answering the question.
This is
So,
this is called the call a friend option, right?
yeah, phone a friend option. Phone a
Phone a
friend
friend.
option.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Phone a friend option.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. So one of my friend got on the hot seat, and among three persons, my name was also there.
Yeah.
And there was a question, the answer of that question he was not knowing.
Yeah.
And out of these three, the other two were sighted persons.
Yeah.
And what he did, he asked, call Chetan Sharma. And
Yeah.
that moment was unforgettable for me, because he had certain stakes to lose. He has
Yeah.
a certain. If I would have answered the question wrong, I was not able to answer the question, he would have lost the money.
Yeah.
So at that time, he had faith in me, and he decided to call me. And fortunately for him, and fortunately for me also, I could answer the question even without listening the available options.
Right. And you also spoke to Mr. Bachchan.
Yeah, I did. Yes, yeah.
Right. Yeah. So, what are your other interests and passions apart from competing with and establishing yourself as as a leader among your colleagues and among in within the society? What are some of your other passions that you spend your time?
Uh, the other passion, if I talk about, is reading good books, good, especially biographies, autobiographies. These kind of books, I am very much passionate about reading this book, and currently I am reading a very beautiful book written by Varghese Kurian. I too had a dream, and I would recommend to all of our listeners at least read that book. Wonderful book. The journey of total transformation of Indian milk producers, Indian farmers, and the story of how Amul came about, and what kind of setbacks Mr. Varghese had in his life. It is a very beautiful book, and one should read it. Very good.
Amazing. So, Chetan, very, very good talking with you. It's been a pleasure, and I do wish you and UDBHAV the very best. Continue to serve and support people who are written off by society as losers. Give them the energy, give them the vision, give them the encouragement and the learning and the direction and the wisdom to move on and compete and make their contribution to our society. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. George.
Eyeway, ये है रोशनी का कारवां.
This podcast was brought to you by Score Foundation.
ये है रोशनी, रोशनी, रोशनी का कारवां. रोशनी. Eyeway, ये है रोशनी का कारवां.